Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10 item, don't you grab it.
Yeah, yo. Sorry.
Dreamin', don't give it up, Zavul.
Damn it, son of a bitch.
This is where you say, dreamin', don't give it up, Goro Gregoro.
No. That's
Dreamin', don't give it up, Lobster.
Dreamin', don't give it up, Goro Gregoro.
I hate both of you right
Yeah,
now.
yo.
So much.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, yo. Here's how the story goes. It's about Luffy ate the gum fruit, and I'm gonna learn all the lyrics, and then I'm gonna sing it in a future installment. But anyway, this is Lobster Magnet Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my good old buddies. We are doing our terrible rendition of the 4Kids One Piece song, and we are back to our normally scheduled vlog kind of content to discuss Chapter 880 of One Piece. And this is probably, well, I'm for sure for Zavul, it's like one of the best and worst chapters combined together.
One of the best and worst?
Well, because I assume you must have hated all the like pudding cake stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where it was just sort of like, oh my god, look at how cute they are. Oh, pudding's in her cute cooking outfit. Oh, Sanji, you're such a good cook. All right, we're going to make this best cake ever. And there's like fucking 16 pages on it. And then like, you know, after we're done with that shit though, it was okay. But I did feel like it was kind of like a fucking waste of time. Especially
It was
like
such a waste of time.
Wait, why was it a
Oh my
waste
god,
of
I
time?
just don't care. Fuck me. Why are they suddenly introducing like the 31 chefs? Like this is fucking important. Like the what was it, like the 12 doctors? No, it's fucking not. They're not important.
They're making
Jesus
the biggest,
Christ,
best cake
fuck
ever
you,
for
they're
Big
side
Mom.
characters, you cock-sucking motherfucker.
They gotta stop Big Mom. She's on a ramp. She's riding a fucking typhoon.
I don't care. Just make the cake, cram it in her face hole.
yeah.
You don't need 31 fucking new characters for this shit with terrible designs.
Sanji literally said he's gonna make a cake that will make Big Mom faint. That is essentially the whole
Yeah, you know how
plan.
you do that? Sedatives, motherfucker.
But Sanji wants to make it a good cake. Yeah, there was definitely
Sanji's honor about
31
being
new goddamn
the best
cooks for
cook in the
that.
world. He wants to make the best possible cake. It's his
I
honor.
don't
That's
care. You could have done that off screen.
Yeah. We only needed like a page or a panel, like, oh, this cake is so hard to make, but good thing we've got Sanji here. He's the best cooking guy ever. Instead, we got like 12 pages of it, of just basically kind of like this, like, you know, hey, pudding's so great. Oh my god, look how great she is, and look how great she is with Sanji. And don't you want her to be a Straw Hat?
No.
But
then she's not going to be a Straw Hat. I mean, that's
She
I don't
continues the pattern of like disturbingly abnormal behavior and mind rape. So no, I don't want her anywhere near the fucking Straw Hat.
All right, you gotta admit that was pretty funny when she was mind raping each individual chef as they entered into the factory. That was pretty funny. That was a good gag.
And then, of course, she gives like the finger, and she goes back to her evil mode. But yeah, like
It just mirrors her evil mode, just like really fucking weird looking. Fucking bugged eyes are. I don't want to say creepy, but just like uncomfortable.
it is funny that she's like giving the finger.
Yeah.
Like, is she like literally giving the finger to like Sanji off screen?
Yeah, she's like kind of like facing away from him too, and the other chefs. So she doesn't show her third eye personality to the rest of the chefs, because the rest of the population. No, she
showed it at the fucking wedding. I don't think it's that much of a really well kept secret anymore.
I think it's a well kept secret within her family, but not within like the other. Like smaller towns, candy-related towns that Big Mom owns.
I don't think she has a reason to keep it though. From them, they're lowly servants who are like, you know, all giving their soul just so they could live in Big Mom's fucking creepy kingdom.
But they
in Big Mom's Fruity Land.
They want.
Yeah.
She wants to be, you know, I mean, in those kingdoms, though, she was loved and appreciated, and it also helped the whole ruse with Sanji. If she reveals her true self to them right now, then they're just gonna get scared and be like, "Oh, crap," Pudding is not who she said she was from the beginning.
I don't think they would really care about like the evil Pudding. Like, if anything, it's more of a big deal that she's still with Sanji, or it's like, given the fact that the whole plan was to like murder him. But you know what? So obviously, Gregor was far more invested in this than either me or good old Zavol.
I think it was just is a great point in the story for me because. It's sort of like hammered out a little bit like how the hell Pudding and Sanji were going to cooperate to even make this fucking like masterpiece cake.
They just need to make the fucking cake. We don't need like a huge...
We literally don't need this to turn into a cooking manga. Just make the fucking cake.
It's not going to turn into a cooking manga.
I don't care.
They're probably going to show like the process, like not the whole process, but like gonna like fast forward a montage of.
We didn't need fucking 12 pages of that, especially considering like the other pages we got were like a billion times better.
I mean,
do not even begin to tell me that like you liked page 1 through 12 better than what came after.
I have to remind myself what pages 1 through 12 are again.
1 through 12 is all the cooking stuff. It's all the stupid pudding stuff. It's all the mind rape stuff. It's all the fucking chef stuff. It's all the pudding tsundere stuff. And then, 13 and on is all the good shit.
Man, I really didn't expect this much, like, Sun bullshit out of One Piece. I'm really unhappy about it. I didn't need this in my life.
Yeah, when you think about it, there aren't really many tsundere kind of characters. Like, Oda never does that. I think
no,
one.
And I was really happy about that.
No, Bo Hancock.
I didn't know how happy I was until
Boa Hancock completely converts to like lovey-dovey. We've never seen her be like, "It's not like that I like you or anything, Luffy."
Well, at first she's like she hates him, but then I guess she slowly realizes.
Yeah, to be an official tsundere, she has to like bully and, but she gets converted pretty quickly, and then she just becomes fawning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she doesn't count. She's not a tsundere. So anyway, now I want to shift the conversation to the great part of the chapter, the absolutely wonderfully badass. Because there's nothing I love more than when shonen characters are like put to the wall into a seemingly impossible situation. Luffy's completely fucked and continues to be outmatched by good old fucking Katakuri Dogtooth. And God, I really love that scene where he's like shoot flaming arrows into their windows, burn down their fucking ship. And Luffy's just like, break all the mirrors, break all the mirrors. All the shit is just hitting the fan. He's just trying so hard, but he's just fatigued. He just can't handle it. And you've got like the fucking long neck people who are like, we're shooting arrows. And they just seem like dicks. And then you kind of think about the fact that all of it, like Luffy is no one to blame for but himself. This is what you get for fucking with a Yanko crew.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Luffy's just getting his ass beat right now.
It feels like very reminiscent of how Straw Hats used to deal with villains, like how desperate their situation was when dealing with
not all villains, like only like maybe Crocodile or like maybe something like CP9, like the real threats.
Yeah, exactly. This is not. This is way beyond like something like fucking Fishman Island or like even Caesar the Clown, I think.
Yeah, and the thing I absolutely loved the most was that like final panel. They're like struggling so hard. Luffy's like in horrible shape. The ship is like burning down, and then the fucking last panel, and it's just this tsunami, and then fucking Nami has this, "Hey Luffy, I'm sorry. I think we're done for." And it's just so matter of fact and so depressing because most of the Straw Hats are it's not even like an exaggerated. It's just so plain and matter of fact and just to see them lose hope is amazing, and it helps Big Mom live up to the hype that she needed to, like, equate being a Yanko class opponent.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
They completely fucking underestimated this shit.
It's
They
like
really did.
I feel like Big Mom is kind of like she's like unmatchable force right now compared to the rest of the Straw Hat crew. Like no one can touch her. She's like kind of like a force of nature. So the only thing that Luffy can fight against is actually Dogtooth, and that would be like a huge win for the Straw Hat crew. But they have to completely avoid Big Mom.
Yeah, and I like it now that she's like that much further ahead of them, and Oda consistently finds new ways for her to like completely overpower them. Although one way they could like hypothetically get out of it is, maybe Jinbei uses his like fishman karate to like break the wave or punch through it or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has done similar stuff like that before, hasn't he?
That seems like the closest get out of jail free card. Although I would be stupendously happy if like the Thousand Sunny is wrecked from the tsunami, if Oda has like the balls to do that.
Jeez.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, but it's a Thousand Sunny. Do they still have a Coupe de Burst? Could they still do that?
I think they said they loaded it. So the Jinbei or the Cootie Burst is like their only elements in survival.
Although, where's the rest of the crew? Maybe we get like a.
Wait, the rest of the crew? You mean like Zoro and?
Yeah, maybe we get like a cavalry kind of moment going on.
Oh.
I doubt it. They're all on Wano. Because remember, that was the whole point. They split up to, like, I think some of them were going to go look for Marco the Phoenix, and then the other one was like going to go to Wano to like set up like a forward operating base for the eventual Kaido, assault.
Yeah.
Law and Zoro were supposed to do that. I mean, it would be really badass to have them come back, but I don't see Oda doing that. I think he likes. I feel like, the crew's so unwieldy, like half of it was, the reason was like, showcase the underutilized members who weren't in Dressrosa and, keep it down to a more manageable cast.
Also, I have a theory. Dogtooth kind of like is like the evil mirror of Zoro in terms of character design. You think about
it. Like he doesn't fit like I could accept the evil mirror of Luffy just because of his super stretching powers, but how is he the mirror of Zoro?
I mean, he's got kind of like similar eyes, I feel like, and like
but doesn't
similar
use a
build.
sword and.
Yeah, I know he doesn't use a sword, but like in terms of character design, like his actual character, if you think about it. Like, if Zoro and him were to, like, face each other, they would kind of look a little bit similar, wouldn't they?
I guess the hair is a little similar, even though, like, I don't know what his color his hair is, but now I'm, like, kind of curious. I mean, Zoro's, like, a more traditionally badass character design, and, like, maybe you could say that's how they're similar, but I don't think they're that similar from a character design standpoint.
No. I mean, of course, Dogtooth has this silly scarf over his mouth and everything. I mean, that's not similar, but there's still other similarities I find between them.
Well, just they're aloof, sort of badasses, but I'd say he's more like the badass mirror of Luffy.
You think he's the more badass?
Yeah, pretty much.
This whole time I felt like Dogtooth, he was like the mirror of Zoro. One, because, Zoro is the number 2 of Luffy. Dogtooth is the number 2 of Big Mom.
I guess. It still doesn't
It doesn't feel...
Yeah. I mean, Zoro is always 100%, whenever he shows up, always ends up paired off fighting the swordsman. That is just how that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a sword guy, Zoro's going to have to take care of him. and like Dogtooth doesn't have any sword, anything.
Yeah.
You guys are thinking like just about the swords? Like Zoro's more than the swords. He's the number 2, strongest person in the pirate crew.
But it just he's not interested in fighting somebody unless he has a fucking sword. That is just how that kind of works.
That like you could make a better comparison with Kid or Killer, the laziest character that Oda has ever created. He's like the Zoro analog because he's got like some kind of bladed weapons and he's like a badass. But even Oda admitted that he's like Killer is like the laziest character he made for the Supernovas.
I mean, I just kind of see Dogtooth as like he's like Big Mom is like a reflection of Luffy in some ways. Like, you think about it, like, you think, like, what if Luffy became a Yonkou? Like, how would that shit go down? Like, would Luffy make a bunch of candy islands? Maybe. would he make a bunch of islands just for specific foods that he likes? Maybe. Like, you think about, like, how would his Straw Hat crew would, like sort of govern the rest of the
Luffy,
islands.
like became like an official Yankow. He'd just like sail around and go to like fucking amusement parks and shit. and then like he wouldn't do no organization whatsoever, and he'd have like the Armada saying, we're what do you want us to do, Luffy? And he says, okay, we'll just be friends, and if we need help, we'll come and help each other. And then they'd wind up doing all the work and creating the islands and all the infrastructure and bullshit.
I just think that Big Mom and her pirate crew are kind of a reflection on, in a lot of ways, to Luffy and his pirate crew.
I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with that on so many levels.
In some ways, like if you think about, like,
I'm willing to believe that Big Mom is kind of a terrifying reflection of Luffy.
Yeah, but
it kind of just ends there, I guess.
Yeah, in the sense that she's like selfish and like, but in her, she like doesn't compromise on what she wants and what her desires are, no matter, and her desires are kind of stupid.
And every time I see Dogtooth, I think of like, would Zoro do the exact same thing in this situation? Would he like, be on top of like wedding security? If Luffy was marrying off one of his...
There's also the fact that, like, there's a very different relationship in the fact that Dogtooth's her son, and Luffy didn't, like, fucking reproduce Zoro.
Yeah, but it's almost like... It almost feels the same, because it's...
And Luffy doesn't, like, fuck his crew into existence. He doesn't Fruity Land them. He acquires them. They're all his peers, while Big Mom just, like, kept on reproducing and, slept with every race in the fucking world.
Yeah, but that sense of loyalty is, like, almost... It's, like, very similar, isn't it?
You're making a very thin comparison, and I hope the people in the comments rip you apart.
Okay. All right. I won't waste that much time on it. I just thought it was kind of a cool idea to think about, like, Dogtooth as, like, a what-if scenario of, like, if Luffy became
I don't
Yonkou.
see that at all.
All right, so important question.
Let's get to this. Yep.
What are we rating this?
Yeah, I was about to get to that. So, what would you give this? I wasn't a huge fan of, like, the earlier stuff, but I do like the sheer desperation of those last few pages. Wish we got more of those. I'm leaning between either 7.5 or 8.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
You were really...
That was a lot of cooking bullshit that just didn't need to happen. If you'll notice, every time Sanji cooks something, they just gloss the fuck over it because no one needs that shit.
Yeah, One Piece is not a cooking manga. All of the details about Sanji's cooking are usually saved for, like, filler episodes. And oh man, though, they're like halfway through animating the fucking Totland saga. I wonder if there's anyone in the editor's desk who's like, Oda, you got to finish this shit up. So, I hope they have a big ass filler arc coming up because it always amazes me how like One Piece manages to keep on animating even though when they're like literally in the middle of an arc.
Yeah.
I give it a more generous score. Obviously, I say this chapter was definitely up there. It had a lot of good emotional highs for me. Like, I still stick with my comparison with Dogtooth and Zoro. I think it's kind of important for like the growth of.
Okay, so what's your number?
Stuff.
What's your number?
I'd say it's either between 9 and 8.5. Maybe I'll go with. Maybe I'll go with 8.5. I'll go with 8.5.
I'll go with 8, and Scott will be a 7. So we have a rainbow spectrum of scores and impressions. I am the moderate. Scott is the more extreme hatred of pudding, and Greg just Goro.
And I also like the cake part. I liked the baking the cake part. I thought that was fun.
My God,
I don't think we fucking need it. We don't fucking need it. We don't fucking need it. Just bring the fucking cake. It's a stupid little plot device. Just needs to be made, and that's it. And then we should be focusing on whatever cool, clever thing Oda comes up with for Luffy to either escape or defeat, Kataguri. Or maybe he doesn't. That would be awesome if he loses somehow.
So, yeah. What are we shelling?
I'm thinking
Oh my god. We have to shill Betty Crocker's instant cake mix.
Fine. Okay.
Wait, what about something with tidal waves?
This one.
Wait,
Hey,
no, it's the Betty Crocker instant cake mix.
Right,
that makes the sense.
Fine.
So you can go pretend to be Sanji baking Betty Crocker's cakes.
Yeah. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted a delicious, moist, wonderful cake, but don't have the desire to hire 31 fucking people, a psychotic monster, and a master chef to do it? Well, now you can. Just add an egg and cram it in your fucking oven and don't spend fucking 12 pages worth of material that you could be doing something important with. And
I can't believe you guys hate that part so much.
Mix, motherfuckers.
Agreed. Get the Betty Crocker cake. It's down there in the link down below. Make your cake easy. Don't waste manga time when, that manga time should be Luffy fighting and, more important things. So don't waste people's time. Get Betty Crocker cake mix. I mean, you could be all gourmet and like make it from scratch, like all those people in Brooklyn who love to go to Trader Joe's and have like these fucking cakes which have 20 bajillion ingredients. But fuck that noise. You are a working person. Working people need to make shit fast. Just like we need our time not wasted by cake cooking in One Piece.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for listening and hanging out with us as we discuss this week's One Piece chapter. It's always a pleasure.
I'm curious, like, what the viewers and comments are they gonna side with me or are they gonna side with you guys?
It'll be interesting. Let us know. I love reading your comments. I love them more than Big Mom loves cake. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.
Manga's made of iron, lobsters made of meat.